I decided I was gonna unschool my kids, all of them, for an entire week. I'm doing this by allowing them to explore the things that pique their interest, get involved with things that they're curious about, instead of giving them a formal curriculum and lesson plan. He found a string. Where'd you find that string?
The Y.
He found it at the YMCA on the ground. And you picked it up and did what? You made this. So I am not an unschooling mom. So you may be asking why on earth I'm gonna try unschooling. Well, one, I needed a break, and two, I wanted to see what really piqued my kids' curiosity. So I'm unschooling for a week, and here's what happens. Now, I did mention I am not an unschooling mom, but for the parents that are unschooling parents, I have to give them way more credit than they deserve. Because unschooling, if you're doing it right, is extremely hard. First of all, yes, you're letting your kids explore what they want to explore, but you also have to provide the things that they want to do. You have to meet their needs, even if you yourself might not even like it. You found a bug?
I did one.
A dead bug.
What is it? Look up close.
Oh, gross.
What is it?
It's being eaten by ants.
What is it? No, but what kind?
It's a kind of beetle. I wonder if you typed in Florida bugs yellow.
Yellow Florida beetles?
Yeah, see up in the search bar? And this week, I'm gonna try to do that. For the first day, it was a pretty typical let your kids do whatever they want kind of day, except I did not let them use any screens or televisions or anything like that, and I allowed them to get bored. Allowing them to get bored is the first step into allowing them to find out what they want to do. So I tried to encourage my kids, like, hey, why don't you go play Legos? Why don't you play dolls? Of course, my boys, gravitated toward the Legos. And my daughters basically just played with each other, whether it was puzzles or tea or whatever, they just played with each other. They're really good at playing with each other. So a really fun thing that we're doing this week, actually this month, is we are taking a trip through the country, not just the country, but countries and regions, and trying out different foods, trying making them. Hannah's helped me with some making. Tonight, we are having some Hawaiian food with some coconut rice, as well as some fruit, some mangoes, and some pineapples to go with it. And then we're gonna have some chicken teriyaki. Tomorrow, we're gonna jump over to Texas and have some chicken fried steak and some mashed potatoes. And then we're gonna go over to Oceania and do some of those regions like the Philippines and Australia and New Zealand. So that'll be fun. I think after that, we're gonna hit up India. So yeah, this is fun. And you're learning about different countries and what they eat, because that's like a big part of their life. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I've been writing a book. But I have also been doing a lot of research, understanding the philosophy behind public school and homeschool. Here's some books that I've been reading. The Relaxed Homeschooler, Thomas Jefferson Education. I've also been shifting through some old documents to kind of figure out where the idea of public school came from, because education and schooling are completely two different things. I've never really thought about it that way. Schooling is inside an institution or a home where you're specializing in something, or you're there for a certain purpose. But education is something that happens to every single person all the time. You can be educated when you're learning how to walk, or when you're doing a craft project with your mom.
Now he's building a set. An awesome set with this.
Number 3. Now on day 3 is when I started to see that pattern develop. My boys like to build. They like to build Legos. And mind you, we've had these sets kind of hidden away for a while, and they haven't really had the opportunity to kind of pull them out and play with them, but this time they did. They even actually got out some of my Mindstorms. I have some Mindstorm kits. They started coming out with those, doing some computer programming, and building a snake, whatever they wanted to do. I was up for it, and I encouraged them. If they needed help, I went to them. If they didn't need help, I let them keep working and playing. Now on day 4 is when it really started to get interesting. It was past the days of, yay, no schoolwork, I don't have to do anything, yeah, to I'm bored out of my mind, now I gotta find something to stimulate this little brain of mine. Several things things that my kids really, really enjoy doing on their own that we don't get a chance to do while they have, you know, schooling. One of them is my son has been tremendously inspired by the American government unit that was put out by Gathered Round. One of the projects actually asked him to create his own country. He has been working on the Constitution for his country for months. And so now that we have the week off, he's able to sit down and really go through it.
Okay, so the 4 branches are the executive branch, the army branch, the judicial branch, and the legislative branch. They're everything the same thing except for the army branch. So yes, the executive branch is kind of like King Isaac. He's there doing stuff. And then the judicial branch is, I was going to make him second in command, but then I realized that would lead to communism and socialism. So I just put that down. And now they have all equal power. The legislative branch, every 3 districts, and if there's one extra, they do senator for that. Every 3 districts, they have 1 senator.
So is this your country right here, King Isaac land? Yeah, this is where he's making the Constitution for. Imagination is huge, and I truly believe regardless of the age, whether they're preschool, childhood, tween, teen, adult, or even the elderly, you gotta keep dreaming and you gotta keep using your imagination. Albert Einstein actually understood this, and he made quite a few famous quotes. I'm gonna read you some. Imagination is everything. It's the preview of life's coming attraction. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. And this is another really, really good one. Education is what's left after one has forgotten everything they learned at school. I'm reading the book called The Thomas Jefferson Education. We should probably write one called The Albert Einstein Education, because this man understood not only lots of mysteries of the universe, but he understood the importance of imagination and what it does for people and for the world. Tell me about what this is.
It's a bow and arrow.
It's a bow and arrow. He found a string. Where'd you find that string?
The Y.
He found it at the YMCA on the ground. And you picked it up and did what? You made this. Let me see it up close.
I need to fix it.
Yeah, you need to fix it. So we've got nails. You need to fix it, but you got nails.
Holding this, and then one end. It twists a lot though.
Yeah, that's a baseboard that my husband has left over from when we're just, remodeling and fixing up the house. Isaac, are you writing in your journal?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wrote Saturday.
You wrote Saturday, but you're gonna write today too?
And I wrote Friday and Thursday.
Friday and Thursday. Outside on the concrete. So today is just absolutely gorgeous. We are at Naomi's therapy early in the morning. It's about 78 degrees, and we are just gonna be outside. We're gonna read, because we're really into this Wing Feather Saga book. So, and then we're gonna look up words that we don't know. If it comes, I don't know, we're just gonna discuss the book. That's it, just discuss the book. A deep sound shook the air, a sound Janner had heard before, but couldn't place. He looked left. In her hand was a dagger, and the way she held it made it clear that she knew how to use it. And the cackle of buck-toothed men and women. Janner heard a wonderful sound, and with Marley offered him a wad of damp cloth for his bloody lip. Why didn't you say something when we first showed up, if you didn't plan to toss us in the river at all? So after this is all said and done, this little experiment of mine, what did I learn? I learned a lot. I learned a lot about my kids, and that's what I wanted to see. I also learned when I'm not stressed out about getting the curriculum together and the lessons together and just school in general, I start to enjoy my kids. Like, what's up with that? So my oldest son, he's always said he likes politics, but this time I really saw it. He likes to write. He enjoys American government, politics, writing, journaling. He's a very, very deep thinker. Like I said, I already knew that, but now I really saw it in action. I also saw him do it without me having to bug him about it. My second oldest loves to build, like across the board, loves to build, loves to design, loves all that kind of stuff. Figuring out how things work, he was taking things apart during the week. He was also playing in the dirt. He was doing a lot of reading, and he was letting his imagination just go, coming up with storylines after storylines. He is an innovator and a creator. My oldest daughter likes playing with her younger sister, period. She likes to teach her. She likes to tell stories, develop storylines. Now, she also has this amazing gift of understanding things at a deeper level. So I read stories out loud to my kids quite often. Of course, obviously this week, a lot. She was able to understand some of the deeper meanings that the boys who are six years older than she is, no, 5, close enough, older than she is, but she was understanding deeper things than them. My youngest daughter, Naomi, loves to play, but I mean, she unschools all the time because she's in preschool, so she just played. But this time she had her sister around to kind of help her facilitate that. They're best friends right now, so hey. But Hannah definitely does show herself to be more in charge, even though Naomi actually really is. It's so true. Look, very seriously, there have been a lot of things that have been going on in my mind lately, especially since I started writing this book, thinking more about my philosophy behind homeschooling. Why am I homeschooling? Learning about the public school system, how it came out of the Prussian model, which I mean basically came out of Germany, and it was to train kids to be subordinate factory workers. And also the philosopher behind it influenced Adolf Hitler and nationalism. And that's kind of scary when you think about the public school system. And that is what has brainwashed me all these years. How I view school. How do I view school? Books and rules and letters and, you know, things that are given to me that I just have to complete in an orderly fashion by a certain deadline. But school it's supposed to be learning and enjoying learning and finding the things that interest you. I mean, yes, when you unschool, you can do it wrong. You could do any philosophy wrong. And there are a lot of people that unschool that do it wrong. However, there are a lot of people that unschool that are doing it right. Doing unschooling right looks like your home is a classroom. You've got things laying around, you've got plants and experiments and books all over the shelves, but the things that interest your child, because you follow them and their lead and you say, oh, my child's interested in Legos, I'll provide more Legos. Oh, my child is interested in gardening, I'm gonna set up a garden outside. You're basically following their lead. Unschooling incorrectly is when you just don't provide any of that and let your kids do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. Unfortunately, that has happened, but that honestly is not unschooling. That is called lazy parenting. Just being honest, guys. I don't know if I am going to fall into the unschooling category of an unschool family. I don't know. I like Charlotte Mason philosophies way too much. And yeah, some of my philosophies this year are changing. I think it's this realization for me that I am very much brainwashed by the public school system, and I need to unbrainwash that and allow my kids to explore the things that they love, but also providing challenging activities for them so that they can do those things, excel in those areas. Yeah. I think for kids with special needs, though, unschooling is something you should highly consider, obviously. I mean, you're not going to be following the benchmarks from a public school system, and you're not going to be doing a lot of things that they do in the public school system. I mean, you want those kids to excel in what they're good at. My dear, 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 dear friend, I'm going to call her that, even though I'm related to her. She has a son that's autistic. And I said, if you were ever to tell a parent of a special needs child, you know, advice, give them advice. She said to tell them to find the talents and giftings that that child excels in and just feed into those things. That pretty much is unschooling. Look, I really challenge all of you to just start to think about the way that you school. Is it the way that you expect yourself to school? Because sometimes we're not always homeschooling the way that we want to be homeschooling. We fall right back into old routines and patterns the way that we were trained. Maybe think outside of the box a little bit and try something new for a week, or read up on some different philosophies, or watch some other YouTube channels and see how they're homeschooling, and, you know, maybe watch your kids and see how they're playing. But yeah, it was kind of cool. However, this week, I'm gonna really rethink some things, because things might be changing in our household. Anyway, Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. This is a journey. This is a journey. That's why I'm thinking about all of this. My youngest daughter does have Down syndrome, and we do share a journey as a special needs family. And consider subscribing so you can see this process and learn what I'm learning. I am a former public and private school teacher, and I do evaluate homeschoolers in the state of Florida. I also have lots of resources that I go to, from physical therapists, from friends that have kids with special needs. So seriously, come join us on this journey. Plus, I learn a lot from you guys when you comment down below. So don't forget to leave me a comment. And I'm gonna stick some videos around my face that I think you guys might like. And until then, I will see you in our next video. Bye.